Okay, in this CompuShow tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create fixture groups and create a static scene on a fixture page. So you can see that we've got all these little squares with little fixture icons in them in the fixture window, which is right here. It's on. So what we can do is we can actually select all of them, right click, size, do 4 units. And if you want to get them into a certain shape or position, you can click on the positions wizard right here. And what that will do is select all of your fixtures and allow you to put them in a shape. You do a matrix. So we can even one thing you'll notice is this button right here is show the master page fixtures only. So any fixtures you have linked to the master page by this little icon right here will always be shown in the fixture grouping window as long as this is selected. So you can see all my fixtures are there. I check it again and now it goes to my design spot page. So I usually leave this selected. So back to positions wizard. And you see all your fixtures. Turn them all on. Put them in the line. Put your mouse over the little bar. And you can drag them around however you want. And just as soon as you click the X button, it goes away and everything is in the same order that you just put it in. So what we can do though is we can create fixture groups. So since these are our design spots right here, so we'll select these and just click the new group button, right click, rename, design spot 1200. And since we have all impression 120 RZs, we can do all our parkings. And so you can see that is just a way to more easily select everything at once. You can also create subgroups. Call those middle pars. For example, mid spots, and the washes. So at any time, if you want to change how many fixtures are in this group, so say mid pars is actually including on that one too. So just hit update, and it updates that group to the new fixtures that you put in there. So one thing you can also do though is move these around. So put the spots there. We stretch them out a little bit. Do a wash there. wash there, wash there, wash there. And I'll put these up here. So that's kind of like how we have it laid out in the 3D vision. So now that you've seen that our setup on our fixture page is pretty much identical to how it's set up in the 3D stage. So what we can do now, minimize that, and I'll show you how to create a scene in the master page, because basically it's the same creating the scene regardless what page you're using. It just depends on the fixtures of the page, and the only difference is the master page contains all the channels for these pages, rather than if you were to just go to the Design Spot 1200 page, you would just get the channels for Design Spot 1200. So let's just create a new scene in the master. We'll go to Button, create a new scene, make it empty. You can rename it whatever you want, but for now I'm just going to leave it Scene, and hit OK plus Edit. So I'll make this full screen, zoom out of that. And this is the basic view. I never really use this, so we'll just get out of it by clicking the basic view again, or clicking it. So you see you have windows. You have DMX input, undo, redo, easy time, easy step, palette window, preset window, channels window, and fixtures window. The only ones we need right now are easy time or easy step. We don't need the palette window. We'll get into that later. It's always best to have the fixtures window and the channels window. That way you can see better exactly what you're doing. So what we'll do though is we'll put the presets window on this half of the side. That way we have more space for our channels and the fixtures. So you can see I can just click on Design Spot 1200 and all my channels up here for that. So notice how if you're in these tabs here, nothing is available for you to click on or move or anything like that, unless you go to all. You gets rid of the tabs and gives you all your channels right there. You see how it's compressing the name of the different fixtures, that way you can still see which ones you're programming no matter what position you are on the window. So I haven't really used alls, but I use the fixture tabs. So what we can do is just select Design Spot 1200. You see all the functions come alive. So what you can do is you have your fixtures selected. You can go to the preset, go to intensity, open up the shutter, open up the dimmer. You can adjust the position right here. You can even right click and lock the pan, so that way it just tilts, doesn't move left or right at all. Or you can also lock the tilt and it doesn't move up and down, now it just moves left and right. Another thing you can do is adjust the resolution, which allows more it's kind of like adjusting the resolution of a mouse. It allows for quicker response. So higher the resolution, the faster it's going to be. the lower the resolution, the slower it's going to be. So you really gotta like drag it around when it's at this level in order for it to move just a little bit. So we'll right click that and put it back to 10. Click OK, and now it's back to where it was. So now we can adjust our position. Can make a color or select a color from the color wheel. Or we can go to Gobo and select the Gobo and rotate it. Go to beam and adjust the focus, frost level, iris, or the zoom level. So what we can do is then, overlay the Gobo, rotate the other one, slow it down and speed it up. There's effect side, gives you access to the prism, the prism rotation, pan and tilt speed, color macros for CMY, CTO filter. All this stuff is now pretty well visualized in the 3D visualizer too. So you can use the preset windows, or you can use the individual channel windows to modify your fixtures. And basically this is your static look. So say you have this done, you want to mess around with the impressions now. We'll open up the shutter. Since it's an LED fixture, we have to mix the color first. And let's just do like red. And pan and tilt. Go to beam, adjust the zoom level of it. There's no gobo, there's not much of an effect. There's movements that are in there. Specials, CTC filter. Strobe, pulse, bigger strobe, open. And the same thing, you can right click here and lock or unlock the pan and tilt, just the resolution of the mouse. You can also take this, like click here, and then if you have a scroll wheel on your mouse, you can scroll just this channel up and down. So now we have that set. Turn on our pars, which is basically just intensity. And there you go. That is our scene. So now that we have that done, one thing we can do is if we ever made a mistake while we were programming the scene, so we go to undo redo, and it'll show you, it'll go back to before you made any sort of change. Anytime you clicked on a channel fader, it does that. So you can even go way back to, say, the beginning here and start over. Or go to any level in here and start it over again. So now we've created our scene. We click save. Click the X. Save changes, yes. And now we have our master scene. That's how you create a scene.